It had started like any other mission: a ruined temple, an old legend, and a simple retrieval task. Ino barely remembered what had occurred inside. One moment she was reaching for the scroll, the next she was gasping for air outside the temple as the morning sun scorched her skin while her teammates gripped her arms with expressions of deep worry. Something was wrong. She wanted to tell them, she truly did, but a part of her resisted. Her body felt too light, and her limbs moved with a fluid, unnatural grace. Her skin tingled, hyper-aware of the warmth of life radiating around her. The scent of the world had shifted, becoming sweeter and deeper. She could hear the distinct heartbeats of her teammates and feel the blood rushing beneath their skin. Deep inside her, something whispered, "Mine." The first death occurred the night Ino and her team returned to Konoha. While navigating the market, she felt an inexplicable, gnawing hunger. She brushed against a man, causing her heart to race and her palms to sweat. The man eyed her dismissively before looking away. Ino stared at his back until a veil of darkness suddenly consumed her vision. Ino woke with a start in her apartment, her sheets damp with sweat and her lips burning. She felt stronger, as if a void inside her had finally been filled. Later that morning, she saw the news. A merchant from the market, the very man she had encountered the night before, was found dead. His body remained perfectly intact, yet cold, his face frozen in an expression of blissful horror. She staggered back from the television, her heart pounding. It couldn't have been her, she told herself. However, when she closed her eyes, she saw flashes of their lips locked together and felt a torrent of energy flowing from him into her. Ino's eyes snapped open. She gasped for air as she stared at her reflection. The image in the glass was smiling, even though Ino herself was not. If you're enjoying this dark reimagining of the Naruto world, make sure to subscribe. What do you think happened inside the temple? Share your theories in the comments below. Ino tried to resist the internal urge to feed. She knew she had become a danger, but she struggled with what to tell the village. If she confessed to being a vampire, would she be putting even more people at risk? For days, she avoided contact, locked herself away, and ignored the whispers crawling under her skin. But the hunger never abated. Eventually, Shikamaru arrived, using his extra key to enter. "Ino," he remarked, leaning against the doorframe with his arms crossed. "You've been acting weird." His voice sounded too casual, and his eyes were calculating. Something inside her snapped. Her body moved before she could consciously stop it. 1 second, she stood in the doorway. The next, her fingers gripped his collar, and her lips pressed against his. He gasped as his body stiffened and then shuddered. She felt the rush, a flood of energy, chakra, and life force pouring into her before Shikamaru could even react. It was intoxicating, more powerful than any jutsu she had ever experienced. Shikamaru's body collapsed, lifeless and drained. Her best friend was dead, and she was his killer. She wanted to flee, but Konoha was a village teeming with life, warmth, and energy. The entity inside her was ravenous, and that hunger owned her now. She moved through the streets like a shadow, her lips parting in whispers as her hands brushed against strangers in dark alleys. A merchant gasped for breath, a shinobi fell to his knees, and a medic nin clutched her chest. They died one by one. There were no marks and no wounds, only that frozen expression of ecstasy and terror. The village whispered of a curse, but by the time the investigation began, she had become unstoppable. This story is reaching a breaking point. Be sure to share this with your fellow Naruto fans. Who do you think stands the best chance against this new Ino? Let me know. Kakashi was the first to find her. His eyes burned with intensity as he lunged, but she proved to be unnaturally faster. She kissed him before he could even blink. The legendary copy ninja and 6th Hokage gasped as his knees buckled. He collapsed at her feet, cold and lifeless. Then came the others. Anko, Kiba, Hinata, Sakura, and Sai all perished at her hands. And still she hungered. When Naruto finally returned from his mission, he found the streets silent and the lanterns still burning. He gasped at the bodies scattered across the pavement. He hurried toward the Hokage's office, passing numerous fallen friends along the way. Inside the office, his breath hitched at the sight of Kakashi's corpse lying on the desk as if it had been carefully placed there. Then he heard a soft, lilting laugh behind him. He hadn't been able to censor when he first stepped into the village, but now he could. It didn't feel like Ino. He sensed a profound evil and a darkness corrupting her very soul. Ino, he whispered, turning around. She stood there, waiting, her once bright blue eyes now transformed into pits of swirling darkness. Her lips curled into a look that was almost gentle. "Hey Naruto," she purred, stepping forward. "I saved the best for last." She was fast, far too fast, and Naruto barely had time to scream. Did that ending catch you off guard? Subscribe for more what-if scenarios and dark fan theories. Don't forget to comment with which character you'd like to see feature next. The end.